So tell me, question number 5, smooth transition. What are some common mistakes or misconceptions that you find that some of the beginner singers often have about vocal training, and how do you address these beginner issues in your online content?
So I found that beginners often underestimate the importance of like proper breathing, proper vocal warm-ups. So I like to emphasize on all these like fundamental aspects, the foundational stuff, and provide like lots of exercises to correct those bad singing habits that we've like developed over the years. So I'll also like stress the importance of patience and consistent practice, because that's also something I found can be very discouraging, especially in the beginning. You think like, my voice is cracking up and I can't hit this high note, and it just kind of makes you, feel down. Like a lot of students want to just give up on their vocal training. So I've got to encourage them to just, stay patient with yourself and just keep on with that consistent practice.
Yeah,
How about
I think
you?
that's so smart, especially the practice side of things, and especially, beginners doesn't always just mean young folks, although it certainly could. That instill, older people too. Older people are almost harder.
Absolutely,
Older
yeah.
being slight, older does means, I don't know, not in elementary school, I guess. They are even more reluctant to consistent practice, but even just encouraging better practice habits is so important, because ultimately we are training muscles. And if you think about going to the gym and you're training your muscles, you don't just go to the gym once and be like, all right, I'm jacked now. It's like, no, no, no. You need
Absolutely.
to
I use the
do
same
consistent better
analogy. You got
things,
to
sure,
bulldoze,
over time,
bulldoze.
and so there is definitely a process of like, some people can, do the quick, 30-day program and feel a lot better or look a lot better or be a lot better. Whereas other people, they work at it for years and then they find themselves. So like you said, patience is wonderful. Some of those foundational techniques, whether it is in the respiration system of breathing or in the phonation system, working on some basic vocal technical things, or some of the, uh, uh, resonation system, if you're working within just certain things about how to shape your vowels, or just some of the basic things you talk about when you do singing, they're always really important. But I find that one of the main things that most beginner singers do is they try to emulate other singers. They try and put on fake singing voices to try and sound like older singers or different singers that they love, and in so doing they find themselves um, reconfiguring their instrument in a way that is not perfectly balanced, in a way that is imposed or pressed, or things that
Just
are
sounds
that
bad.
yeah, things that are just not helping them be
Yeah.
themselves. And so I always am encouraging my newest students to allow themselves to just use their most natural voices and build from their most natural resting laryngeal positions, or their most natural resonation sounds, and not trying to sound like somebody else. They can emulate other people's styles, but not necessarily emulate their vocal
Yes.
qualities too much on their own, singing too big or too little, but rather just kind of staying within themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.